Hey there, welcome back to the table. So, I've been given some feedback that I've been continuing to have issues with my microphone. I've done several series these last couple weeks, slash month. The Dungeon Universalis series was at a completely different room and a completely different microphone. I think I have that problem solved. I know exactly what the issue was there. Up here in this room, I am using my camera here to do both the recording and the audio, and it's literally my iPhone. I am using software called OBS. It's free, and I'm using this thing called NDI, which it acts similar to Bluetooth. It's not exactly the same as Bluetooth, but basically it's cordless. So I am not connected to the computer. It's wirelessly talking to the OBS software. So when the sound gets stuttery, it is because there's some kind of issue going on where the computer software is, not able to keep up with the processing. There's some bandwidth interference. There's a variety of reasons why it happens. And I don't have a solution for any of those because they happen intermittently and I have no way of knowing while I'm recording that it's happening. So the only real solution is I would have to buy like a professional microphone separate from the camera, because I think the camera part is working fine. I don't think you guys are complaining too much about stuttery videos. I mean, you might have an issue with the fact that I've had my camera on a tripod and I'm constantly moving it around. So one of my theories is that I'm bouncing my camera around because I am moving it around on the iPod, and maybe that's what's causing some of the issues with the connection. So I have my camera mounted here, and this is a new way of looking at the game. And for me, looking at the preview, this looks zoomed out way too much. But I think it's because I use the tripod and I like to get up close. But the one nice thing about this is you do see the entire field like I do, and you can even see 3 of the character boards. I know you probably couldn't read what's on them, but you can still at least see them, and you can also see the sparrow. So you're seeing my game table the way I see it. And then I can always take cards, and like, for example, I'm sure that's really difficult for you to read, but if I bring it up, it's not too bad, right? So I can read that through the preview pretty well. So that's really, we're gonna give this a try. And let's find out if the audio issues continue to happen. These last couple of videos, I did go back and try to replay them. And I'll be honest, the audio issues to me seem really minor. I get it, it's not a perfect video, but like they happened and then they went away. And it wasn't like it was persistent or ruined the gist of it. But with that being said, I still want to fix it. I guess I'm confessing to all of you, I don't have a solution other than spending money. And I know you guys deal with advertisements. I have turned that on, and I do make some money. And I probably need to do a video where I talk about that. But so far, in almost 4 years of running this channel, I've made $400. So, you can sit there and do the math. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. And, each video is probably at minimum 30 minutes. And most of them are an hour, because that's usually where I try to cut it off. And then I go to 2 hours on some of them. $400 doesn't even pay for this phone, let alone the games and everything else that I bring to the table. I guess all I'm trying to say is, yes, I can throw money at it, but I don't have any to throw at it. And it's not like this channel makes the kind of money. And I know that's why, Rodney Smith used to do, was it a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe? It doesn't matter. But, he had people donate money, and when he first started out. Rolling Solo has Patreon supporters. I think Gaming Geek, just about everybody has some form of support. And I think you guys who regularly come to this channel know I never ever do that. I don't even ask you to like and subscribe. I don't think in a history of all my recording, my son once asked you to like and subscribe because, you know, he thought that was cool. I have never asked you guys to like and subscribe. Never ever. And I'm not even asking you to support me. But I am telling you, I can't go get a microphone right now. I mean, I do have a pretty liberal budget. I mean, I'm buying some nice, expensive games here. Like that Dungeon Universalis is not a cheap game to go get. And, I mean, I don't want you to think, you know, we're sitting on hard times, but I don't, you know, I have to pick and choose what I'm doing, and I would rather get a new game than go buy a microphone. And that's why I'm being a little stubborn, is what I'm trying. I'm confessing I'm being stubborn. I would like to try to fix this sound issue without having to go do that. So we're gonna try this here, and we'll see how it goes. And I apologize, because I know that was long-winded nonsense, but yeah, I'm just not at a spot yet where I'm ready to do it. So, but I do want to fix the issue, and I don't want you guys to have to deal with it. I watch YouTube videos myself. I definitely watch Rolling Solo. I think he does great videos. One Stop Co-op Shop, I don't watch as much as I used to, but I still think he produces some decent stuff. Actually, Mike, I like more because he does the wargaming stuff. I think my biggest issue with One Stop and Rolling Solo is that they never complete their game. Like a game like this, they'll play a few scenarios at tops, but they'll never finish it. And then, you know, here I am. I'm not sure I can finish all 4 acts of this either, but I've at least gone through the entire prologue, and I'm in Act 1, so it's much, much further. Let's just put it that way. You know, Ricky Royal is still top of my list. I actually really like Rahdo. I know some people, he's very polarizing for some people, but I love Rahdo. I think he does a great job. And then Undead Viking actually is a guy I enjoy, although he doesn't really do playthroughs, he just rambles. Yeah, I get all my rambling inspiration from him. And I actually like Gaming Geek, but he's more of a review kind of guy. He doesn't do playthroughs as much anymore. And then Paul Grogan. I really love his channel. Oh, and now that I'm thinking about channels, John Gets Games. He does a wonderful, wonderful job of playthroughs. John Gets Games is actually top notch for me. If I had to support anybody, it would be him. I think he's great. And then it's not, and I just, you know, came across some other, you know, YouTubers along the way, and, you know, Board Gaming does really great job. And he actually had me join his live stream once, and I had a blast getting to know him and hanging out with him. And then, of course, Lonesome Gamer, who is still doing Dungeon Universalis long after I quit. So I was the one that tapped out. He's still doing it. I think he's insane, but the thing I love about him is he's genuine. You know, he's really just doing videos to do it, and because he enjoys playing them. And so, you know, it was really nice getting to know him as well. But anyways, enough of that. Let's play. What you see set up here is Mission 19. And in case you forgot, we were on this particular area, and so Mission 19 is this mission right here. And let's get some of the flavor text out of the way, and let's get going. So this is a Sparks mission, because remember, we got missions from 3 different sources. And you can see here for Act 1, we're going to be doing the 3rd one here. And so I'm going to put a little check mark next to it to show that we did the 3rd mission, or we're going to. And yeah, so we had one mission from the Cantina, which is a Ronin mission, or yeah, Ronin. We had one mission from Sparks, which is this one, and then we have another mission because there's that sniper that killed that medic. So we're doing the Sparks one. On your approach, Lieutenant Pete recaps the mission. Adkarios Institute, I'm happy to work together on this mission, but once we eliminate the ships guarding the generators, I expect you to follow my lead on the satellite. There's just a hint of desperation to Yolindo's voice. So our objective is to eliminate all enemy ships. And you can see we got quite a variety of them. We have a Ronin Scout. We have science ships, your science ships. We have your vessels. What are those called? Gunships. We have a Ronin frigate. And I'm sorry, my dog is seeing somebody outside, being a little dirty. And so our mission is just simply to eliminate everything. There's no special rules. There's nothing. This is just a straight up space battle. Okay, now the other thing to bring to your attention is that our starting region for us is along the corner here. There's an L, and we can start along this outer edge, and I put the ships on the ends. So we can go from here all the way down to here, all the way over to here. We can start in any of these spaces. So that's our, we got quite a bit of breadth there. So strategy. Everybody has the +3 health, +3 armor. So they're going to be really tough. The stun, your gunships, those two on the end here are immune to stun, but everybody else is not. So we can stun everybody else to a heart's content. And so there's a very strong temptation to try to take out this guy first. But we've already proven in earlier missions that we cannot, even if all 4 ships are shooting at him. We never had the firepower. But we do have more weapons now. We have better stuff. But how much better is it? It's not that much better. But it is maybe enough that we can take him out. We'll have to see. The other thing is we do have this to our advantage. So these guys may end up going through the asteroids. The problem, so here's my problem. To make this guy go through the asteroid means that we would have to huddle up here and basically do nothing our first turn, which I'm not, like, I think it's a good idea, don't get me wrong, but if everybody is moving towards us, they're all going to arrive at like the same time, and we're gonna be in trouble, is what I'm getting at, is we can't take on 7 ships at once. It's too much. And so maybe what we can do is, yeah, I need to think about this. Because like if I move this way, for example, and take on this guy, I am going to get crunched by him if I don't finish him. This guy here is for sure going to get in on the action, and then he'll be able to get in from behind. And then maybe I'll get this one and a couple of those guys to go through that asteroid there, but I will get basically attacked by 3 ships. If I charge this guy and kill him, then that one over there is going to move towards us, so is that one. This one will likely avoid the asteroids and go straight into us, and these 2 will avoid asteroids. And so I'm actually looking at 4 ships attacking us if I go after that one. So that's my dilemma. All right, I did realize I forgot to do one important part of setup, and that is we got to get the stress back to 0. The shields in ship is 4 and 4, but now I got to look at his sheet. So for his sheet here, shield is 2 and the hull is 1. And remember, it's 1 shield because of this ship upgrade, and then he's getting shield and hull upgrade from the Sparrow. So his shield goes up 2 more and his hull goes up 1. So Andrew is at 5 hull and 6 shield. For Enver, we got a 0, and then his base setup is 8 and 1. And then his shield is 5 and his hull is 1. And that's because he's got multiple shield upgrades here, and he even has a shield upgrade tech as well. So yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts his shield up to 6 and his hull up to 9. So really well done there. And then 2 and 5 for Josh. And then his sheet says his shield goes up 1 more to 6, and his hull goes up 5 more to 7. So we got a lot more hit points than we used to. And I know you can't see Starla, she's off screen. Her base values are 6 and 2, hull and shield. And then she adds 2 shields and 1 hull, so now she's 7 and 4. Okay, now we're ready to get started. So my thoughts is maybe I'm gonna have Starla do some candy. And that means that I don't need Josh nearby. This is not Josh. I pointed to this one, but this is not Josh. This one's Josh. Josh just needs to be our stun master, right? He can stun 2 at a time. We do need these guys to be next to Starla for her to give out candy. Andrew could go into stealth, which is not going to be a bad idea. So I'm going to look over at candy here. And the candy is got a range of 3. So, and then I'm also realizing I got to get some more cubes out. My apologies, I don't have everything set up. Okay, so 3, 4, that's nothing. 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, and 2. And then up here, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 1 more for 3. Sorry about that. So sorry. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking I want to do. I'm going to put Starla here and Andrew here and JB there. So Starla can give out the candy. And then we can just put Josh in the corner here, because nobody puts baby in the corner, but this is Josh. So I think that's how we're gonna start. I reserve the right to change my mind, of course. But here's what my thoughts are. Just to refresh you, Andrew has this disrupt skill. So that lets him move an enemy unit. And I think that's what we want to do. We want to move this guy. And you can see that the pattern was 1, 2, and then over. So I can move him right into the asteroid. So he's going to start his turn inside of an asteroid. So we're going to guarantee he hits an asteroid. And I think that's an excellent thing. But let me roll the dice. Here's Andrew. So we've got a nice mix there. And then that's JB, of course, just rolled a bunch of stress, like always. And then here's Josh. And then this is Starla. Okay. So, yeah, I like the idea. So we're going to start off with Starla, and she's going to give out some candy. So for her, she's going to use one of her move dice to give out the candy. That's a self-sacrifice, so she's gonna lose 1 hull strength, and I forgot to set his stress to 0. She loses 1 hull strength, and we're gonna give out 2 of these. So we're gonna give 1 to and see, look, I just realized there was one already in his deck. So I got to take it out. So I never removed that from Andrew's deck. And the reason I realized that is because there was only 3 of them in the pile, and I was like, why is there not 4? All right, so we gave one to Andrew and then the other one to JB. And for now, that's all we can do. And we do have the calm ability where we can remove stress from pilots. That's a new thing that we gave to Starla, and I do value that a lot. Don't have to use it yet though. Starla has 2 attack dice, and she does have this long shot ability. So actually, what I may want to do is I'm going to rearrange these guys a little bit. So Starla's long shot ability misses the first one and then hits the next 3. So we need her to move up a little bit. So that's actually a little problematic because she's not quite able to hit them. So what kind of movement does she have? She has a supply chain movement that she could use, but of course that's using one of her supply things already, but she has her flank. Which I don't think, okay, we're gonna put them back. So we're gonna do a basic movement, which is over and then up. And then we're gonna have to use one of these to rotate. So she's gonna rotate this way, and now she can do a long shot. But the problem is she's going to do, see how this takes 2 dice? She only has 1 die left, so she's just going to do a 2 damage attack instead of a 3. But that's okay. We're still going to do it because I would like to get an attack in, and the basic attack will not shoot far enough to hit. There is this targeted bolt that she could have used, but it also doesn't shoot far enough. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and like I said, it's just going to be 1 die. It's a 2 damage attack instead of 3, and it does pierce shield. And can I target lock this guy? The answer is yes, if JB can get within 3 spaces of him. Okay, we're gonna wait for the attack. So this is Starla's attack deck. We're just gonna put that right there. We're gonna wait. I wanna do some other things to give her advantage first. So JB here has a couple stress dice and all that nonsense. He could do like a basic maneuver. He could also do supply chain, which the thing that stinks about supply chain is he doesn't need supply at the moment. So what we're gonna do with JB is we're gonna use his little move die here to move him up 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So he's really close. And then we're going to attack. So we have this shard launch where, so the shard launch pushes him away, and if he uses a stress die, it adds +1 to the number of targets. That's the problem. See, because it's a circle. That circle is number of targets. It's not damage. So that would add +1 to the number of targets. Just as an example here, this is an example of something that would give you +1 to the damage. You see how this is a triangle instead of a circle? So we don't need to add +1 target. Now the only reason I'm saying that is because JB's dice, we have 2 stress to manage here. To do a shard launch, he's gonna have to take 2 stress because we're gonna put both of those on the shard launch. And then this one we're gonna put on the spike pulse, so the shard launch pushes him away, the spike pulse pushes him in. We don't have to push him away. I think I think that's a may. It's not a must. And what a great question that is. It's very important right now because I really don't want to push him away. And maybe if I use that attack, I'm going to have to push him away, and that's why I don't want to do that attack. So let's find the section of the rule book where they talk about these things. The target is pushed away from the ship. If there are 2 hexes, you decide. Okay, it doesn't look like a may. It looks like a must. So I'm probably not going to do the attack that pushes him away. I mean, you could argue, hey, why not do the attack that pushes him in and then do the attack that pushes him away? That's a fair question. My issue is I want to suck him into here, which makes it so she can hit him, right? But also when he does his disrupt move, he's going to move 1, 2, 3 and go through 2 of them. That's sort of, yeah, that actually changes a lot of things if we do that. But so what that means then is I'm not doing a shard burst. Instead, I could just do a basic attack action because this guy's close enough that we can just do a basic attack action. So that's what we're going to do. JB is going to take 2 stress. He's going to do a basic attack action, which is only 2 damage. And this is, and the reason we chose JB is because he has right here, I think you can see this on the screen, or you can barely see it. This is his target lock ability. So he's going to use 1 charge of that, and we're going to put target lock on this guy. And I didn't even check to see if he was immune to target lock. He's not. He's immune to hull breach. So we got target lock on him, so that means we now have advantage. Everybody does. So we're going to go ahead and do a 2 damage attack with JB, and that's a -1 stress with a -1 to the hit. Ooh, that's good. Or he's just going to do, so he's either going to do 2 damage or only 1 damage, and then he loses a stress. He just took 2 stress, folks. That's the only reason why I'm even debating this. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just do 1 damage and lower his stress. And that 1 damage hits his shields. So JB's turn is not over because now he's going to do his spike pulse, and that's the one that sucks the ship in. And so we have a +1 and a 0, and we will take the +1. So that means he's going to do 3 damage. And the only thing that stinks about this is that the spike pulse actually hits multiple targets. But we do suck him in. We do 3 damage to him, which his shields are now completely gone, and he's down to 10 health. JB's turn is over. And then we go to Andrew, who's going to use, he's going to do several things, in fact. One of the things he's for sure going to do is he's going to disrupt the guy, right? So he's going to spend a die on disrupting, which will cause him to go through the asteroids. But he can get an attack in on this guy, or he can, stealth up. He actually has multiple choices here. But I think what we want to do is maybe a chain laser, which hits anything within 3 spaces. So he can do, for example, one of these moves where he's going to go 1, 2, 3 like this. And then he can chain laser, which requires 2 dice. He is using a stress die, but that just adds an extra target. And so this is going to do 3 damage. And yeah, this is his deck right here. So here's, oh, he drew a miss, and he drew his candy. So he had both extremes. So this is the candy, so that's going to go, but this will cause him to reshuffle. And he just did a doubler, so that's 6 damage to this guy. That's a lot of damage. He has 10 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's down to 4 health. And then Andrew's not done. He's using his disrupt now, which is going to, he has to use a charge of it. So the disrupt makes this guy go 1, 2, and then he can make him turn left or right, 3, like that. This is 2 damage to his hull. So now that guy is down to 2 health. So that was an excellent use of the disrupt skill. And oh, we were talking about Starla needed to do her attack. So she would have done it before the disrupt would have occurred, right? Because she's lined up for it. So here it is. There's a -1. That's a supply with a +1. So that's 3 damage. So 3 damage would have been applied before it went through, and then this 2 hull damage. This thing is destroyed. We got him. It's like Osama bin Laden. We got him. All right, and then she does get to resupply something, and she can resupply her long shot or her self-sacrifice. I don't know which one's better. I think we're gonna go ahead and resupply her long shot, and that's it. So those 3 are done, and then Josh is sitting here smoking a cigar. So what do we do with Josh? Oh, gosh. I honestly don't know what we want to do with him. We probably just want to move him and position him to be ready. So I think we want to move him to be up near everybody else. So we're going to go ahead and do one of those over ups, and then another 1, 2, 3, and then we'll stop and we'll call it a day. Okay, that's it. Everybody's done their turn. Starla has 1 damage because she gave out candy. We've already wiped out 1 ship. Now, granted, it was the weakest of them all, but that was still worth doing. Now, let's see what everybody else is going to do. So, we have 4 different ships in this game. The Ronin Scout would have been first, but we just wiped out the Ronin Scout, and so it never even had a chance to go. So, we're going to put that deck out of the mission. The next up is we have a 4, a 6, and an 8. So the science vessel will be next, and this is their AI. So you can see they're going to rotate, attack, move, rotate, attack. There is no yes, no on this one. So they will attack twice if they can. And their attack is just a little pew-pew of 2 spaces. And they are going to move like a banshee though. So that part is troublesome. The first one to go is number 1, way over here in the corner, and he is oriented the correct direction. So there's no rotate, there's no attack for him to do, and the move is 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he can rotate again. Now he does need to rotate to go around this thing, but right now he's facing the direction of the ships. And that's what he's supposed to do. He doesn't take into account that he has no line of sight. So he doesn't rotate, and there is no more attack for him. Number 2 is over here. So his rotation is actually still correct. I mean, he does have to go up and then over, but this is the direction for him. And then he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from here, he's 1, 2, 3 spaces away and 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So he could rotate either way. It doesn't matter at this point because there's no more movement. So we could rotate him like that, for example, and there's nobody for him to attack. This guy is facing the wrong direction. So we gotta, and I am verifying that that is the correct wrong direction. So we can rotate him. We do get to decide. Like one of the things we could do is we could go 1, 2, and then force him to, because otherwise he's going 1, 2, and then he's moving that way. So you could argue that this is the safer route for him. It might be. But we get to decide. And since this is the hardest difficulty, I'm doing 1, 2. And then that's going to make him go 1, 2, 3, 4, and now he just took 2 hull damage. And it is fully within the realm of the rules for you to do that. And so made him take the 2 hull damage, and then yes, he will rotate. I guess we'll make it the same orientation. No, he's got to go this way more. So he's going to rotate like that, and then his turn's over. No matter what happens, there was no chance in Hades that he was actually going to attack us. Next is the frigate, and here's his nonsense, and you can see he's got quite a big attack there that he's going to do. So what he does is he's here, he's going to rotate, he's facing the direction he should. He will try to attack, and he shoots 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces ahead, which is nowhere close. And then he will move, and his movement is 1, 2 spaces, and then he will rotate again. Well, he stays in that orientation, and then he tries to attack again. 1, 2, 3, 4, still not enough, but he did get closer, and that actually would have been a brutal attack. So I'm glad there was nothing for him to do there. And then last is the gunship. So the gunship, I was banking on this because I'm remembering the last time we did missions with them. The gunship always moves very slowly, like only 1 space at a time. But they do have these like insane attacks that they do off to the side and every direction. But you can see here he's shooting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces ahead of him. And all right, so let's go ahead and start with that one. This guy is going to be exactly where he is. He's going to shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces ahead. That doesn't hit anything. So then he's going to move 1 space. He can rotate. And then he attacks again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it actually it's 5, and then it's the 2 here. It's not, so he came close, actually. I would have been extremely shocked that he would have hit us, but that was actually a very, very close shot. And then the same with this one. He would move forward 1 space, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is nowhere close. So we don't have to worry about him. But yeah, those were some fairly close shots. So now it's our turn again. And we got basically 3 guys up here and then 3 down here. Now, if I could finish off one of these, I can stun the other 2. Or at least that's where my mind is. I'm not able to stun these at all, so that's an issue. I could hide behind the asteroids one more time. I don't know like how exciting of an option that is. But yeah, let's go ahead and get going here. This is Starla. And then we got, this is Josh. JB. Oh, another stress. And Andrew. Okay. So, Andrew only rolled 1 movement die, so that might dictate things for us, because I don't think he can, like, he can move up 1 and over. But then his attacks are range 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's not able to do much. And I just gotta look real quick. It is 3 attack, right? 3 range, yep. So he does have 3 range. His problem is, like, he has a burn and flip skill, but it's gonna, it'll push him into the planet. He could rotate and then burn and flip. You know what, that would work. So we're gonna use one of his attack dice to rotate this way. So that's this one. And then he's gonna use his move to burn and flip. And so what that is that moves 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, but the final space flips him around. So yeah, he is facing the wrong direction. However, he has 2 dice left, and we're gonna use that to cloak him. But not yet. The cloak is gonna come later. We're gonna use a propelled shot first, which does 2 damage to 1 target within 3 spaces. And I haven't figured out which one yet, but I'll tell you later, because he can hit any of these 3 targets. So Andrew will get a shot off using, because the propelled shot doesn't require any dice. It just has supply. He could have done, no, he could not have done a disrupt. That was an option, but it's not, he doesn't have the dice for it. JB, and this is the thing, I want to see who can JB hit. Now, JB has no directional attacks. He can just do range 3 stuff. So, so JB could, yeah, this is a problem for him. He could do a supply chain move, which only would get him to here. And then that's 4 spaces away. That doesn't do him any good. He could, like, he needs to rotate. So he could rotate first and then be this way. Then he can do like a supply chain move, which would move him 1, 2 like that. And then, you know, he can supply his spike pulse, for example. But see, even with that, he's still not in range to hit anybody. So that actually doesn't work. He could do his 1, 2, 3 move. The only thing I'm worried about there is he's in range to get hit by a lot of stuff, but you know what? I think that's okay. We got to see, can he even stun these two? Because Josh is way over here. So, oh, I got it figured out. I gave JB Powder, the co-pilot. Powder lets JB rotate for free. Well, I mean, it uses a charge, but JB was able to rotate for free. So he still has attack dice that he could use. He would have to, instead of using supply chain, use the 1, 2, 3 move. And then, yeah, he can now attack multiple targets, because this is 1, 2, 3 spaces away and 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So this attack die here will hit 2 targets for 2 damage. And then these 2 attack dice will do 2 targets for 3 damage. And one will suck them in, the other one will push them away. But now we got to make sure Josh can get in there. So with Josh, I have to rotate him. Oh my gosh, yeah, he's got a problem. Yeah, we can rotate him like this, but then he's sort of not moving towards them. I'm not going to be able to stun them. The MP blast requires me to be within 3. I can do an interference move, or, you know, even like a flank move. So let's say I do the flank move. He would move 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5, like that. And that puts him 4 spaces away from being able to hit somebody. 1 space short. The other thing he could do is 1, 2, and then just 3, but that still doesn't get him there. Yeah, he can't do it. That's actually, that's a big problem. So do I want to rethink what I'm doing here? I mean, JB is going to get hit by all 3 of these guys. if I leave it the way it is. I'm sacrificing JB hard if I do this. Like I can get Josh to do, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get him to do that. He could theoretically get hit, but JB's closer, so everybody's going to be targeting him. Andrew's cloaked, so we don't have to worry about him. And then we got Starla with her candies. So for her, she rolled 0 move dice, Starla did. So that's not good at all. She'll use a stress to do a move of 1, 2, 3. And then she has 3 attack dice. So one of the things she can do is the self-sacrifice. So she's going to lose another hull point and then give out candy again. So we can give 1 to JB and 1 to Andrew. Sorry, I'm just shuffling right now. And then, yeah, she's got two attack dice left. And really not much to do with them. And Andrew here. So one of the things she's going to do is she's going to use one of her dice to do calm. And that's going to make everybody within range lose 2 stress. So everybody only had 1 stress, but we're going to keep the stress down. I have a feeling JB is going to use some stress because he's going to take multiple hits here. But we do have some damage we are going to get to do. It's just, it's not in the way that we thought. So what that means, though, is first of all, Andrew gets his hit in. And his damage is 2. So does he have advantage? No, he does not. Although he can target lock as part of his attack. So we're going to go ahead and do that. He's going to target lock. And then he's going to use his exploit, which does +1 damage to anybody who has target lock. So here we go. He drew a miss, and he drew a 0. I'm really glad. That's twice now he's done that. But he did 2 damage to this guy, number 2, which he has almost, I think he has 18 hit points. So that guy's going to be around for a while. And then Andrew goes into cloak. So that's his deal. And technically you represent that by putting a red cube there. And now JB's got his attacks. So he's doing both of his attacks. One where he sucks them in. Oh, that's gonna do it. Yeah, we got this. JB's gonna do his attack, his spike pulse. It does 2 damage to this guy and this guy. So we're gonna do the one that he has advantage on. There's the doubler. So that's 4 damage. Candy gone. 4 damage to number 3. And then what that does is that sucks him in. So now he's 3 spaces away from Josh. And then he's going to attack number 2 here. He does not have advantage on him. He could spend a target lock. I don't think you can target lock that guy, actually. Yep, he's immune to target lock. And so he does 0, but that's still 2 damage to number 2. Yeah, 2 damage. So he's down to 7 shields, but then that sucks him in. And unfortunately, Josh, because of where he's at, can't quite reach him, but Josh can at least stun this guy. So we're going to do that. We're going to stun number 2. And Josh has to use, he could use 2 dice, but he only needs 1 to do it. And he'll go ahead and do that. The question is could he have done something else? And the answer is yes. He could have used this to rotate. Oh, he already rotated. he would have to... Yeah, there's nothing he could do. So it's just one die for him, because there's only one guy he can stun. This guy's too far away. So that's a 0. And so he does successfully. All right, that's one less guy we have to worry about. And then now Andrew's going to do his thing that pushes them back out. So he did the thing that sucked them in, and now he's going to push them back out. So his attack here is 3 damage against both targets. So we're going to start with the big guy here. So he just drew his doubler, which is awesome. And there's no advantage, so that's all he draws. So 6 damage to number 2. He is down to 1 shield. And then he gets pushed back out, and we can choose the direction, and I'm going to choose this way. We're going to push him that way. And then number 2 here is taking some damage, and there's a +1 and a +1. So he's going to do 4 damage to number 2, which puts number 2 down to 8 hull left. And that's it. Okay, so I know this was a move where I had to do one thing with one person and then stop, and then another thing. Like, you know, Andrew, we knew was going to hit something, but we had to wait for everything else to happen. So this was a very important thing. This one, I'm going to push away this way because he's stunned. So I'm just going to move him up there. And yeah, I'm nervous. These two could do a lot of damage. So let's start with the science vessel. So the science vessel draw is this. Very similar to, almost identical. It is identical to the last one. So, you know, we start with this guy. Who's his target? Well, you can argue it's whoever has the most hit points. Starlet only has 5. JB has 9. So that would be him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy's stealth, so he can't target him. So it's either Josh or Starla, and it would be Josh, this guy. So then it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we would make the argument he would stay in that alignment. So he tries to attack, he can't. Then he moves forward and he hits the planet, so he stops. And then he would try to rotate again, and again, I would argue that he would stay in that rotation. I know that he has to go around the planet, but because we're on the other side of the planet, that's the advantage, is that he's not going to get into the action anytime soon. This one would target JB. He's 2 spaces this way and 3 spaces this way, so he would rotate like that. He would move 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and then he would rotate again. 1 like that. You could argue he'll rotate like this. I don't think it matters, because either way, there's no hitting. He can't get hit. And then, so whether he's rotated this way or this way, his shot is only 2 spaces. So doesn't matter. You make your choice. I'll go ahead and choose that way. So we got lucky. He actually didn't hit anybody. And this one is stunned, but he would still rotate, and it would still be JB. He's 3 away from JB. He's 3 away from Josh. JB wins. And then he really would. He would move 1, 2, 3, 4, and now he's into the hull. He'd take hull damage. And then he would rotate again. So from here, remember, they always retarget, but it's still going to be JB. So he would rotate 1, 2 like that. Or you could argue 1, 2 like that, but I think this gets him closer. So yeah, he obviously doesn't get to shoot, but that's it for him. So then we go to the frigate. This is the one we're worried about. And he's got this goofy movement and 3-range shot. So let's see how this plays out. First thing he's going to do is rotate. So I would argue he's going to rotate like this. because JB's there. And then he does this move where he's gonna go right, and then rotate. So right, and then rotate, which is actually the worst thing he could have done. And he did it perfectly. Like he set himself up perfectly. So that right, and then turn left, he is now aimed perfectly on JB. So now he's going to do a shot, which is shield breaching, means that JB's shields doesn't help him. So this means that JB's not gonna be able to absorb the hit if he gets hit. He will try to, he rotates, then he tries to shoot, which he couldn't do. Then he moves right. He's gonna rotate again, and yeah, he's gonna shoot at the end. So here we go, he's gonna shoot 3 spaces. He does hit JB. So I haven't shuffled their deck yet, but let me grab the enemy deck. Ah, this blows. So JB's gonna have to lose one of his moves. Yeah, that's probably fine. All right, one last shuffle. Again, I don't know how those guys who never sleeve these cards do it. I'm gonna put the enemy deck right here. And so there is no advantage. So we're gonna go ahead and just go and boom. So this guy does a base damage of 4, but we're playing in the ultra hard mode, abyss level. So he adds 4 more, so that's 8 damage, and it's shield piercing. JB has 7 hull. He could have easily handled this if he was able to use his shields. He can't, actually no, JB has 9 hull. Oh, he could actually do it even with the shields. I put the stealth on the wrong person. That's Andrew's the one with the stealth. Sure, we'll do it. JB's gonna take 8 damage, and that's it. He absorbed it. That's pretty badass. That's really good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the discard there, and so that guy's turn's over. Then we got the 2 gunships, and there the gunship's going to be moving 2 spaces and pew-pewing. So they do the move first, and then they rotate, and then they shoot. So the move is first, 1, 2. The rotate would be like this, and the shoot's not going to do anything. And this guy would move 1, 2, and then rotate, and he's too far away. All right, it's back to our turn. All right, so that's Starla's roll, not a good one. But I do have a plan for her. And here's Josh. You got some stress. Actually, we need to use Krina. This is before rolling dice, so my apologies, but I get too excited. I'm going to use Krina, his co-pilot. And what it says is before rolling dice, you may set aside up to 2 action dice as attack. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to put 2 dice as attack. That's 1. He has 4 charges of it. So we're going to do that because it's absolutely imperative that he stuns this round. And then there's my roll, which is not good because I needed some movement, but that's okay. We might have to use a stress die to do that. Here's JB. All those stress dice that he rolls, Jesus. All right, and then I gotta reach for Andrew here. All right. Okay, I need to pause for a caffeine break, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so our priority is we need to kill someone and stun the other 2. Now, the dilemma I have is the 2 I want to stun are these 2. But the stunner guy is way over here, and he's sort of rotated the wrong way. So I'm looking at Josh. He rolled 3, well, we set aside 2 attack dice so he could do his stun. In order for him to position himself to hit these 2, like JB can do his shenanigans where he pulls them in, so we can get them one space closer. So that part is not an issue. What Josh can do is he can use like this attack die to rotate himself, like so. But then we got a problem. So he has the basic move that would let him move up and over, but that's not possible. But he has this interference, and we're going to actually use that. So we'll use his interference. That makes the stress go up by 1. And interference lets him move up 2 spaces, and then he can move over 1, like that. And because he used the stress die, he can actually rotate again if he wanted to. But I don't think he needs to. They're both within 3 spaces, so he can now stun both of them. And that's exactly what he wants to do. So we're going to go ahead and try to stun number 4 here. And we succeed. And then we're going to try to stun number 2. And we succeed. Now, number 4 does take 1 damage. It's not 0 damage for him. And then number 2 here also takes 1 damage, and he's actually down to 0 shields, which is excellent. And yeah, they're both stunned. So let me get number 4 is stunned, and then number 2 is stunned. Okay, so then we have like we can choose to damage them however we'd like, but we at least know they're not going to hurt us. This is the priority to kill, and then of course we got these 3 looming on us, but they're not here yet. So and then Andrew is facing the wrong way, so if he comes out of stealth, we need him facing the right way. He's got chain laser, which is a radial attack that goes in all directions, and he also has propelled shot, which again goes in all directions, so that's good. And then so it doesn't matter which way he's pointing is what I'm getting at. And so let's do that. So the chain laser will hit 1 target, but if you use a stress die on it, that changes it to 2 targets. So he will do that, and of course one of his 2 targets is going to be this one. Then he has to just choose which of these will be the other one, and I'll think about that for now. He has the ability to apply target lock to any of these, so he's going to do that. Now granted, Andrew has advantage on everybody he hits because he's coming out of stealth, but he is going to use his target lock ability to target lock this guy because we need to finish him off. I don't know if we have to target lock him, but I still think it would be important enough to do. So actually, I can wait. No, I have to decide now. So Andrew gets to do two attacks. The first one is going to have advantage, and the first one that we're going to attack with is chain laser because it does 3 damage. We're going to hit 2 targets, and he has advantage against both of the targets. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to target the big guy, and then this one. That's what I'm going to do. And again, it's Andrew's deck right here. And I'm going to choose Proximity Exploit, which will give him +1 damage against anybody he has advantage on, and we're going to do it against that one. So, yes. Here we go. First one, which is this guy. He drew that dang miss again. I keep shuffling it back to the top. Well, the good news is he had advantage. So we just did 4 damage. 5 damage to number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 5th damage was because of this proximity exploit. So of course I got to shuffle now. This ship right here only has 2 health. So I do not need to target lock that ship. The problem is, no, I can target lock anybody. I don't have to do it as part of my attack. I'm sorry, I thought I had to do it as part of my attack. My apologies. I can target lock anybody because it has its own range and all that stuff. So, gosh, who do I target lock though? I am not sure I should target lock anybody. I can't target lock the big guy, so I think that answers the question. I'm target locking number 4. The big guy is immune to target lock. That doesn't mean you can't have advantage against him. It just means he's immune to target lock. All right, so now Andrew is doing a, we still have to attack him. So this is, again, a 3 damage attack. So there's a 0 and a +1. So we just did 4 damage to him, which is excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's down to 9 health. And then he has, Andrew has propelled shot. So we're gonna take chain laser down to 1 and propelled shot down to 1. And with the propelled shot, that is a 2 damage attack, and he's going to attack this guy. There is no advantage, so, oh, come on. All right, so it did no damage. Okay, well played, sir. All right, I'm going to use, oh, that's disrupt, sorry. I could have him stealth up again. But I don't know if I want him to stealth up yet. So we're just going to, we'll do a basic move and then a rotate like that. So he's at least facing this way. All right, I got Starla in the back here. There's a lot of stuff Starla can do. JB is currently 3 spaces away from Starla. So Starla has this guy here. He will, an infinite number of targets 3 spaces away, can heal 2 shield or 2 hull, their choice. And so she's gonna go ahead and use a die on that. So JB will heal 2 hull. And then she will also heal 2 hull herself because she was damaged. And everybody else is fully healed up. So it doesn't do anything to help anybody else. She has 3 dice left now. She has, she could just rest. And the problem is that there's nothing for her to do with the rest. So what we're gonna do instead is we're going to, she has targeted bolt. Oh, yeah. Okay, so she's going to use one of her stress dice to rotate. And then she's going to use a stress die to do her targeted bolt attack. So what it is it's an attack that goes straight and it actually hits other ways. She has advantage because she's behind him, and it does 2 damage. Which is enough to kill it as long as she does 2 damage. And it would target lock him. That's the reason why I was pausing and going, oh, yeah, I should have done that first, right? So with that said, here's her first card. That's a kill right there. And then there's the second one. So, so yeah, she did +2 damage. This guy is as good as dead. And gone. What happened to the other one? Oh, got it. Okay, so 2 down. And these guys are stunned, so we're in great shape. Starla, I'm a little worried about getting hit from behind, but that's just, oh no, she still has a move die. I don't know what to do though. Yeah, we'll flank her. So she's going to take another hull damage, and you'll see why. Because she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then going through there made her take 1 hull damage. So that was worth it, because I think this is a much better position than being here with your butt facing the crowd. That'd be like a dog in a dog park. who wasn't given the memo. The new dog that arrives at the dog park. You don't want it. You don't want that happening. Okay. We have JB, who still has all of his dice to do something. So basically, it's a free round for him to just do carnage on these guys. So that's what we're going to do with him. He's going to, range 3 attack both of these. So he can do a spike pulse. Yeah, he can do a spike pulse, which is going to use up a charge. And then he can use 2 dice to do a shard blast, which also uses up a charge. And then his last die, he'll put on supply chain, and he's going to move over and up, like so. Oh, that's not JB. Oh yeah, that is JB. I'm sorry. He's going to move over and up, and that lets him recharge something, and he's going to recharge his spike pulse, because supply chain is important that way, because that's the thing with JB is he keeps running out of charges for his attacks. Okay, so this move is the last thing he would do. He could do it first, I guess, because Spike Pulse needed a charge no matter what. Here's his deck of cards. We're going to go ahead and attack number 2 first with his Spike Pulse. So that's going to be without advantage. So there it is. He just did a doubler. That's excellent. So the Spike Pulse would have been 2 damage, so he just did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That guy's down to 5 health, and he's going to suck him in to here. Nope, to here. And then number 4 here, he has advantage. So there's +1, +1. So he just did +3 damage to number 4. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, so number 4 has a lot of health left. Okay, so then his other attack does 3 damage and then pushes them out. So we're gonna go ahead and do this guy again first. And there's a +2, that's excellent. So that's 5 more damage on number 2. Oh my gosh, that kills him. This guy's dead. Well done, JB. I didn't even realize that we were doing that much damage. He's completely killed. Then we're gonna go ahead and do this one. There's a miss, and thank goodness we have advantage. So we'll do 2 damage then to number 4. Like I said, has a whole bunch of health. But that helps, taking down all that health. And yeah, I'm looking, like JB has stim pack, so he can give himself advantage even if he doesn't have it. He also has target lock. Yeah, he's in great shape. The only issue is he just took 2 stress for those actions. So he may have to shuffle in a miss card soon. The candy is paying off. We've drawn several of the candies now. In fact, I can check right here. We've drawn all 4 of the candies, because all 4 of them are back out of the game. So that's excellent. We usually don't do that. Okay, so end of our round. AI goes. Science vessels first. Here's their action. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1. His target is not going to be JB because he only has 3 health. It will be Andrew, so he will continue to face the way he's facing. He tries to shoot. He doesn't hit anything. Then he moves, and I'm going to look at the way this is oriented. So his move is 1, 2, 3 with a rotate. So now he looks like that. And then he tries to shoot again. So the good news, though, is he's around the planet, at least for him, the good news. Now for us, this guy's stunned. So he would rotate just like this because that's his target. and then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, and that 3 goes with a rotation like that. And then he would try to rotate again. His new target would be JB. He could go this way or this way, our choice. I don't think it matters, so I'll leave him there. And then thank goodness he's stunned, because he definitely would have been shooting and doing all kinds of nasty stuff to us. So good news there. The Ronin frigate is out of the game, so I'm going to take their deck of cards out. And then we move to the gunship. So the gunship has that little butterfly attack off the sides. And then for the first time in the game, he's going to move more than 1 space or 2 spaces. So he's doing this little sideways shuffle thing. So first thing they do is attack. Then he's going to move to the left and then up 2. So left and then up 2. And that's it. And then he attacks again, which of course he's not hitting anything. So number 2 attacks first, doesn't hit anything, rotates next. Then his left is this way, and then up 2, and then does another attack. So nothing for the gunships, but they are getting within range. They're gonna start doing some stuff soon. But that's it. I'm, like the dealer at the blackjack table when they're ready to leave. That's it. I don't have anything else to say. Okay, it's back to us. That's Starla. Josh is not going to use his thing because he's too far away from anybody he can stun. Well, there's one person to stun here. And I almost rolled the horrible roll. I needed at least 1 attack die to stun with Josh, and it almost didn't happen. And then that's JB. And we got Andrew. Just rolled a bunch of stress. Okay, so now we got to figure out what to do again. So we got the big guys coming. We can't stun them at all. I don't know if you're getting the sensation, but we're going to win this. And the reason I say that is because these big guys, as you know, when they hit us, even if we don't have the hit points, we can just damage our move cards. We're doing great. They do have a crap ton of hit points, though, and we do need to charge that back up. So there's a part of me of like, maybe we should rest a little bit. So there are some elements of risk still here, but everything's going the way we want it to go so far. JB so far is the only one that even took a hit. These guys are definitely going to hit one of us, and we're definitely not going to be able to handle the hit. So that much I'm planning for. But I think that, we got enough, quote, hit points that we can absorb hits and, 4 rounds worth of hits, in fact. And within 4 rounds, I think we can take them down, especially if they're the only ships we have to focus on. So part of me is like, I need to recharge my supplies so my big weapon, shots have some charge. I don't want to be running out of charge when I'm fighting against those 2 guys. With that being said, Josh can continue to stun this one, and he has, oops, I need to lower it by 1. He has 2 charges of that left, and it shouldn't be a big deal. He does have this interrupt beam, which is an interesting thing. In fact, he can use it right now. Well, no, he doesn't have any attack dice. That's the problem. Okay. That number 4, by the way, has seven plus 5. It has 12 hit points left. So it's just at that level that you'd have to really concentrate on it if you wanted to kill it. I don't think any one character can. So looking at the Josh situation, Josh could easily do a move to go over and up, like that. And then he can use the stress die on the EMP blast to stun number 4, which we'll do right now. And so it does 1 damage to number 4. And yeah, he's stunned. So we don't have to worry about him hurting us. Then from here, it's just a question of, okay, Josh, what else do you do? He's got 2 movement dice. So the problem with him is there's not a lot of options. I mean, he could position himself to be more ready to attack those guys up there. So why don't we do that? I can do another one of those small moves over and up like this. And then I could do a rotate like that. So he's at least facing them. Sure, we'll do that. Starla is still sitting in a precarious spot. I really don't want to do much with her. She's really far away from JB because she could help him heal, but we're not able to do that at the moment because she's too far away. She could, let's see, she used a flank, so I need to get rid of one of those charges. Yeah, there's not much she can do. So we can make her rest. She did take 1 hull damage. We can make her rest. She can get some charges back. She really doesn't even have that much stuff that she spent on charges. The issue I'm having with Starla at the moment is I don't want her to rush up and die to those things. But let's think about this. So if I did a 1, 2, 3, the problem she has is she has long shot, so she only shoots in a straight direction. She does have 1 attack that would hit him. And I'm just looking real quick. He's not immune to the targeted bolt. So let's try it. So if she goes 1, 2, 3, she can do a targeted bolt attack, which does 2 damage. And there's no advantage, so it's just that. And that will do 2 damage to number 1, which the good news here is we just need to start damaging him because he is at 22 health points, so that at least puts him down to 20. I'm worried that Starla is going to get attacked too much, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. JB is at 2 stress. He rolled a whole bunch of move dice and 1 attack die. So what we're going to do with JB is we're actually going to rest him, which will cause him not to use that stress die. And then that will make his stress go down to 0. It does give him 2 more hull points back, right? Because he rested. And he's going to get to resupply 2 things. So he's going to resupply his spike pulse for sure and his shard launch. So get those back up to full strength. And then he still has this guy he can try to attack. So he's going to use a stim pack, which will give him advantage. And he will use the shard launch, which does 3 damage. So let's do it. So here's JB's deck. Has advantage. There's a +1 and a 0. So the +1 is awesome. So he just did 4 damage to number 4. So number 4's shields are completely gone, and he's down to 7 health. That's perfect. And then JB was able to do some recharging. I think that was very well done. Okay, now we have Andrew. Now Andrew could go backwards to try to worry about number 4, but I'm not worried about number 4. I think Andrew, well, he needs to recharge. So what we're gonna do with him is we're gonna use 3 dice to recharge Andrew because he needs 1 chain laser and 1 propelled shot to recharge. And unfortunately, he can't cloak. with this situation, but he can at least rotate. So he will do that. So he's going to rotate and then rotate. So now he's facing this way. Now, it is very within the realm of possibility that this guy can shoot 4 spaces ahead of him and hit Andrew. We're just going to have to cross that bridge when we get there. So we're at the end, and let's see what they do. Here's the science vessel. We're drawing identical cards. Look at this. We drew those 2 cards first, and now we're drawing these 2. It's almost like I didn't even shuffle. But I did, I promise. So, number 4. We'll rotate to his target. He can't shoot because he's stunned. And then he will move. And the movement he's going to do is left, 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 and then rotate right. Like that. And then he tries to rotate again, which he won't. And he tries to shoot, which he can't. So his turn's over. And I did these a little out of order. This guy was supposed to go first. So his is, unfortunately, it's going to put him right back where he was. Left, 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 and then rotate, which his closest guy is right here. So he's going to face into the planet again. So that guy's just stuck aimlessly moving around. His turn's over. Now the gunship. This is the one we're more worried about. Here's, oh my gosh, look at that. They're shooting 3 in every direction. Okay, so first thing they're going to do is shoot. So this guy shoots, hits nothing. Then he's going to rotate, which I would argue is that. And then he's going to move, which is 2 spaces. And then he's going to shoot, and he does hit Starla. So that was a good move for him. So he doesn't have advantage, and he gets a +1. So let's look at the big guy here. He's doing 4 attack, +4, that's 8 damage to Starla. Starla has 4 shield and 6 hull, so she'll absorb it. So she's down to 2 hull. She's close to dying, but that's perfect for her. And the attack does stun Starla. That's the one problem. Starla gets stunned from that, which just means she can't attack next round. Oh, and there's -1 damage to the attack, so she's going to get back 1 more hull. She's up to 3. Okay, number 2. The attack does 3 spaces, so it doesn't do anything. And this is 4 spaces away, and Starla is 4 spaces away. Now, you could have argued that Starla had more health, but she doesn't anymore, so the target stays on Andrew, and it will move 1, 2 spaces, and then, yeah, it's going to hit Andrew. So let's go ahead and do that. It got a -1, so that makes it a -2. So that 8 becomes 6, and Andrew has exactly 6 shields, so we go hull damage. Look at that, we're able to absorb hits in abyss level difficulty now. Yes! That is excellent. All right, now it's our turn. We do have the ability to remove status. Remember, Andrew has that status removal technology, and stun is one of them. So we could take stun off of Starla, but it will cost Andrew 1 of his dice. And this is Starla. She has all move and 1 attack. So Starla's not doing much anyways. There's no reason to remove her stun. This is Josh. Got a lot of move. There's JB, a whole bunch of attack. And then here's Andrew. It's a pretty nice balance for him. Okay, obviously number 4 is still a problem. I can still continue to stun him. Josh is down to 1 stun charge left, so we have to worry a little bit there. I think JB will be able to finish him, so let's try that. Number 4 has 7 health. JB has some attacks that he could use, or he can save them for the big guys up here. You know what? Josh is going to rotate. Twice. He'll rotate that way. Then he's going to do a bloop bloop like that. And then he's going to attack with his interrupt beam. It does 3 damage. Yeah. So here's JB is going to put target lock on him. So he'll use his last charge of target lock. And there's Josh, that's a roller. So that's actually a +2. And then there's a -1. Oh, that's a tough choice. So we'll do the +2. So that means Josh just did 5 damage to number 4, which is excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's down to 2 health. And Josh has 1 stress die left. He does not need to use it, so he's going to wait. Because if he uses it, he's going to have to shuffle a miss into his deck. But he could do like a basic 1 damage attack. Or he could try to stun, right? He can use this to do the last stun. So he's just going to wait for now. Let's see what JB and the others are going to do. The problem I have is I think I want JB to get over here to damage both of these guys. And because JB has the ability to hit multiple targets. These other guys don't. So having JB stick around to finish this off is a little backwards. I really wish they were switched, like Andrew was over here, and because Andrew would have been perfect at finishing this guy off. Actually, Andrew is perfect. He has shard propelled shot, so he can go 1, 2, 3 spaces away. It doesn't even use a die, so let's do it. So propelled shot with a +1. Oh, that's a roller. And didn't we give him target lock? Yeah, we did. So yeah, it doesn't matter which one. It's a +1 damage. And propelled shot normally does 2, so we just did 3. And yeah, number 4 is dead. So we did not have to stun him. So we took him out. And then Andrew still has 4 dice. So he can even cloak against these guys. And by the way, he gains 1 shield at the start of the round. So does Starla. So Andrew he can attack and cloak, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to use 2 dice. And the stress die with chain laser, which will add 1 more target. So that'll allow him to hit 2 targets with his chain laser for 3 damage. And then he's going to cloak. So he's not going to be a target. That's perfect. And so for Andrew, his deck is over here. He does not have advantage on these guys. That's the only issue. And he will use his interference removal to get rid of the stun on Starla. Even though I don't think she needs it removed, he's still going to do it. So no advantage for Andrew at the moment. So this is just going to be 1 draw each. So we're going to do number 1 first. And there's a +2. So he just did 5 damage to number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 11 hull and 4 shields, so 15 health. And then number 2 is going to be for the 3 damage. And number 2 is still at 10 shields and 13 hull. So long way to go for number 2. So Andrew's done. He's cloaked, so he won't be hit again. Starla, however, does have to worry a little bit. We did remove her stress, but she's going to do the rest thing that lets her heal. She's going to heal 2 hull strength, and then she's going to gain back 2 charges of something. So she's going to charge her co-pilot, and she has 1 die. So she could choose to heal her hull strength some more. She's not going to, because right now her shields are so low that she couldn't absorb another hit even if her hull strength was full. So instead we're going to attack. So we're going to use this to do her targeted bolt, and that will actually cause this guy to have target lock. which we probably should have done a while ago, but I wasn't thinking. And that's what happens when you're not thinking. So it's 2 damage to number 1. I'm just making sure that I was able to hit him. And so here we go. This attack does not have target. Targeted bolt as an effect makes him get target lock, but it's not for this attack. So only 1 card and it's a -1. So she does only 1 damage to number 1, but it is now target locked. All right, so now we got the JB thing. So if we do a rotate, actually he can use powder to rotate for free. And then one of his 1, 2, 3. So basically he's gonna take the hits instead of Andrew, although Andrew's cloaked right now. You know what? He's going to move just 1, 2, and he's going to use his supply chain. So his supply chain is completely used up, but that recharged his shard launch. And then he's going to use his stim packs to give him advantage. So first thing he's going to do is Spike Pulse. Spike Pulse is a 2 damage attack against 2 targets, bing and bing, and it's going to suck them towards him. And let's start with that. Here we go, JB's deck. This is not the one where he's going to give himself advantage against number 2. Because when Andrew has ability, or JB can only give himself advantage during 1 attack. He's going to do it on his next attack against number 2, not this one. So here's the one for number 2. So that's 2 damage to number 2. He's got 8 shields left. Then number 1 has target lock. So here's +1 and -1. So he's going to do a +1. So 3 damage to number 1. And then he can suck them both in. 1 and we're going to do 1 like that. And then now he's going to do his shard launch, which will do 3 damage. And that's the reason why. And the order he does the attack matters because he can choose to push this guy that way, which means he won't move. Do I want him to be that sucked in? And the answer, I think, is yes. So, yeah, sure. Let's do number 2 first. There's 0, and there's -1. So we at least get the -1 out of his deck. So it's 3 damage to number 2. Where does he want to push him? I think we're going to push him actually towards the here. That's still 1 space away for him. So now he's facing the asteroids. Then we got advantage against number 1. Oh, there's lower 1 stress. JB doesn't actually need it for a change. So those 2 go together because this is a roller. And then a 0. So for JB, he just did +1 damage. That's 4 damage to number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 is down to 7 health. But I am out of actions. So we are going to have to deal with the consequences of those 2 guys going amok. The science vessel, of course, goes next. And science vessel is way up here. So here is what he's trying to do. All right, so first thing he does is he rotates. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is still the target, and he's still pointing into the planet. Then he tries to shoot. Can't do anything. Then he tries to move. The planet blocks him. Then he rotates, and so he's stuck. We've got him nice and stuck on the other side of that planet. Now we're going to do the gunship, and this is the big one. And I'm very nervous with that draw right there because I think he's going to hit multiple targets. But let's do it. We start with number 1, and yes, he's going to shoot sideways these 2, and then these 3. So that's a hit on JB. These 2, and then these 3, that's a hit on Starla. So he's hitting both. He will try to hull breach them. So meaning that they'll lose one hull strength every turn until they heal. And the attack does come first, right where he's standing. So that blows. So we're gonna do the hit on a JB first. And it does hit, and it's gonna be for 4 plus 4, that's 8. So 8 damage to JB. He can handle it. He's got 6 shield and 2 hull, but he now has hull breach, which means that at the start of his turn, he's gonna lose 1 more hull. I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So that's 1 hit, and then against Starla, he got a +2, which just means she's got to flip something. So she's going to flip over her flank, and her stress goes up to 2. So she blocked all the damage. Then they did a yes, so then they're going to move, and his move is he's going to move to his right and then forward 2 spaces. So right and then forward 2 spaces is 2 hull damage. So 1, 2, he's down to 5 hull. Now number 2 here is going to do the same thing. It's going to hit JB for +1, and JB is going to have to use his supply chain is out of charges. So he's going to go ahead and use his supply chain. He's going to flip that, and JB gains 1 stress. And then for Starla, same deal. This one is even more damage. It's 9 damage. Starla can't handle 9 damage at the moment, so her other move is flipping. She's up to 3 stress, so she just got a miss card shuffled into her deck, and so we'll have to deal with that. And then at the same token, it's going to be right 1 and then forward 2, and right 1 and then 1, 2 like that. And that is 2 damage, hull damage to number 2. And that's the situation. So yeah, the gunships with the multiple hits like that, that hurts. No doubt about that. And garbage truck is here, and my dog is getting ready to bark. Are you gonna bark, or are you gonna be good? You're being good. That's good, girl. Today is technically my dog's birthday. Obviously there's the day they're born, but this is the day she came home. So I don't know exactly what day she was born, but this is the exact day that we brought her home from the animal shelter. So she is 11 years old. Getting up there. You're turning into an old girl. She's been in almost all my videos, like just as background or barking. Her name's Mindy. She's a great dog. Great, great dog. All right. Very glad to have her. So, yeah, we got to get going here. Starla recharges 1 shield. There's a pretty awful roll. High stress roll, at least. And then we got Josh, who can't stun any of these guys. And I don't know how I ended up with 5 dice, because I took one of JB's, so I got to re-roll. There we go. And here's JB's stuff. Ugh, almost all move. And then Andrew. Now remember, Andrew was stealth. He's facing the wrong direction at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we'll try to turn him around. So 1, 2 is the best we can do. And then we can use another move die to do a bloop bloop like that. And then they're both 3 spaces away, and there's nothing being blocked. So he's gonna go ahead and do a chain laser attack. Ah, that only hits 1 target because he doesn't have stress. That's okay. He has advantage, and he'll go ahead and use his advantage on number 1. We need to kill one of these. So here we go. There's a 0 and a 0. So that's 3 damage on number 1. So number 1 is down to 2 health. Unfortunately, that's all Andrew can do, and Andrew is very... his chain laser is out of charges, and his propelled shot... Oh, he has propelled shot. That doesn't take any dice. He's going to use that too. So he basically... all of his weapons are discharged. He does have the disrupt where he can move the enemies, but they're not oriented in a way where he can move them through the asteroid yet. But the propelled shot, he does not have advantage on either of these guys, but we're going to go ahead and try to finish off number 1 here. And there's a +1 roller. And, oh gosh, he only needed to do 2 damage. There it is. There's a ×2. So well done, Andrew. Way to overdo it. But yeah, this guy is dead. So that's a big, big victory. That's one less guy pounding on us when it's their turn to go. And getting us one step closer to winning this thing. All right, now Starla is facing the wrong direction, on the wrong side of the tracks, or asteroids in this case, and also needs a bunch of hull points. Her other issue is she rolled 2 stress dice, and she already is at 3 stress. So what she's gonna, she basically has this situation. She has no movement dice. So she can use like 1 die to rotate if she wanted to, but that's not even gonna be helpful. JB I thought was closer, but I guess he's not. He's 1, 2, 3, 4 away, which that doesn't help because she has like a repair ability, but they have to be 3 away. So what she's going to do is she's going to rest herself, and that gives her 2 more hull strength back. She's up to 7. She's almost full strength hull. In fact, she is full strength hull. I apologize. She can recharge 2 things. She's got a targeted bolt. She'll recharge that. And then she has the cum that she can recharge. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and recharge cum. She does take 2 stress away. So her mist that we just shuffled into her deck comes back out. Just got to find it now. Found. Okay, so that's gone. And yeah, so she's stuck, just staying there. Like we said, Andrew got a little bit close, so he'll probably be the target for this thing. It would be nice if she could be the target and it would go back through here, but I don't think it's going to happen. JB is fully charged, so we could rotate him like so. Then we can do a move. 1, 2, 3. The problem with JB is he has only 1 attack die. So all he can do is a spike pulse with that, which will hit this thing and then suck it in 1 space. So that would have to move him like this. But that's only if he hits, and so let's make sure he hits. Here's a attack for 2 damage. Oh, he misses. So that does not do anything. I would say we've been on a really good streak. Like, we've drawn a lot of misses, but we've always had advantage. And that's, I think, the expert way to play this game is you give yourself advantage as often as possible. So that way, if you draw that miss, you're mitigating it. And this is one of the few times where we've drawn a miss and haven't been able to mitigate it. So, yeah, we've been on a really good streak. So the problem, though, is JB is down to 1 die, and it's a move die. And I don't really... I mean, you know what? We could have had him... We should have had him rest. I totally forgot about that. He took that big hit. And we're supposed to recharge a shield. this round. So yeah, he should have rested and healed some of his hull points. That's all right. We'll have to live with it for now. We do have Josh left. Josh does not have the ability to stun this guy, but he does have the ability to charge in 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And then we can rotate him like this. And then he will use 1 attack die for interrupt beam, which will slow. Slow means this guy can't move. He can rotate, but he can't move. And I don't know how good that is for us in this situation, but yeah, we could definitely at least try something here. And he also has an effect that as long as he hits, he'll be able to jam him. So we're gonna at least do what we can. We're gonna slow him and radar jam him, assuming we hit with Josh. And so this is a 3 damage attack. So that is good. 3 damage goes in. There's a lot of hit points left on this thing. And then Josh can also do a basic attack for 1 damage. I know that doesn't sound very thrilling or exciting, but let's do it. Here's the basic attack. Yeah, the EMP blast doesn't do him any good. And there's a -2, so that doesn't do anything for him. Now, he does have the ability that if his attack does 0 damage, then -1 stress. So he will reduce 1 stress. And so his turn's over, and everybody's turn's over. So we're gonna draw for that science vessel. So you can see, based on the orientation, he's gonna move to his right. Yes, his right, and then forward 1. Now, there could be an argument made that 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, she's the closest now. So it tries to shoot. It can't. It will move to its right, which is the planet, so it can't move. At least rotate this way because she's the closest now. It's still not doing anything, folks. It's stuck. Then the gunship, which is the one we're always worried about, is doing the super radio attack, which right now is Josh. Is the only one that it can hit. Remember, it's slowed, so it can't move, but it can attack, and it does a -1 damage attack. It will stun Josh. So let's see if, oh, look at that. He missed. So that was well done. So Josh doesn't even take the hit. And all it can do is, it can rotate though. So it will rotate like so, and that's it. His turn's over. So back to us. We gotta do something about that science ship stuck behind that planet. I'm annoyed because I don't want to keep playing this mission if it's just down to that 1 ship. I mean, we can stun it, we can do all kinds of stuff until we kill the thing. So I am going to tell you, if I down this thing, we're calling the mission, because that guy's piece of cake. All I need to do is have Josh stun. We got Krina here, his co-pilot, that can guarantee he's going to roll attack dice. I mean, that thing can be stunned again and again and again until we kill it. So I'm not going to waste my time chasing that guy down. Just announcing that. This is all that's left. This is a mission victory right here. So with that said, we need the victory. So let's go with Starla. I'm missing something. Here we go. And Josh. He's not rolling a lot of attack dice there. JB has almost all attack dice. And then Andrew. Not bad. Okay. All right, so number 2 has 11 hull points and 2 shields. So 13 health is what we got to do to take this guy down. I don't believe anybody is cloaked or anything crazy like that. Andrew is completely out of all of his weapons except for his basic attack. That's all he can do is a basic attack. And he's not, like his basic attack is, let's say he's pointing this way, it would be 1, 2, 3, and then the 2 sides. So it looks like this and then that. So basically it covers a whole range of that. If he were to rotate like this, he would hit him with a basic attack. We can do that. 1 die to rotate, 2 dice to hit him. It would work. It's only a 2 damage attack. We just rest, and then he can recharge some of his other shots. But I think because he's down to 13 health, we're gonna go ahead and do exactly this. We're gonna turn, we're gonna attack, we're gonna do 2 damage. So we do need to get him target lock somehow, and unfortunately, all of our target locks are gone. So yeah, we're just, oh look at that, I just drew a candy. So how on earth? I thought we used them all. There's 5 candy here. Okay, so my apologies. I thought they were all gone. But basically, we just did 4 damage with Andrew. So he is just showing off left and right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, his turn's over. He has 1 more move die left. I just don't know what to do with that. He has the disrupt, so he can move this guy, but he can't rotate him. If he was rotated the right way, we'd move him into the asteroids for sure. Josh is up. He has only 1 attack die. He's going to use it for the interrupt beam again, and that's a 3 damage attack. So we're going to go ahead and do that and draw his card right now for 3 damage. And that's 3 more damage. He has 3 dice left, which he will just rest and let it recharge his weapons. His EMP beam being the big one. But yeah, there's not much else Josh can do. JB, being 3 spaces away, can do the suck in and pull out. He has 3 attack dice to do that. And then he even has a 4th attack die. He's going to use powder, his last powder action, to rotate properly. And then he can use a basic attack. So he's going to hit 3 times. This is a 1 damage attack. This is a 3 damage attack. And then this is a 2. He has no ability to get advantage, so let's just do this. So we're going to do, in that order, the 1 damage attack for 1. The 3 damage attack for 2. And then the 2 damage attack for 3, and he's dead. That was exactly what I needed to kill him. So we got it. Like I said, after this, we would spend rounds moving up here, because even if this guy's stuck behind the planet, we're eventually gonna, pick a way and get to him. Because Josh can stun him until the cows come home, he basically is gonna do absolutely nothing until we just whittle him away. So I'm calling it, and I hope you guys are okay with that. If you're not, well, tough duty. I'm still calling it. So here we go. Our reward. I don't know how well you can see that, but we make it to Sparks 2. So that means, we get a reputation level 2 with the Sparks. We successfully did our first mission, so our reputation goes up. We're going to get 10 credits, which turns into 15 because of the difficulty. And that is always good music to the ears. Some of these guys have 0 credits. So to get 15 right now is a big deal. Everybody gets a pilot skill, and then if we had Ruthless, we would get Copilot Vogeo. I have no idea what Copilot Vogeo does, but we do not have Ruthless. We took the nice path. We always play Paladin, even in space. But let's see what Vogeo would do. I always like at least looking at them. I don't even see Vogeo. Well, here he is. Yep, we can live without him. He basically, he has a range of 5, which is really good, but he can target lock, slow, or radar jam somebody. I mean, it's not an awful pilot, don't get me wrong, but we can live without him. There's other stuff that does the same thing, but not at range 5. Range 5 is pretty impressive. Okay, let's do our pilot skills. We got Andrew here. He is, right now, he just unlocked 2 2+2s. So I gotta not step on my dog. I think this is actually really nice for Andrew's deck. He just got 2+2 cards added to his deck. That's very valuable. I mean, a +2 is a good draw. And after getting rid of some of his negatives, that's a really good positive to add. The other option was, of course, to get rid of 2 zeros. And I just felt like 2+2s was better. Because if we draw a 0, we usually don't complain too much. Okay, it is nice though, if you get rid of the zeros, it makes it so you're drawing the other stuff more often. I get it. But anyways, Andrew's done. JB. He's one halfway towards getting rid of 2 of his -1s. That's all we did for him. Josh is just now, he's going to get rid of his -2. So, not as important because he doesn't do the big damage attacks very often, but we did draw it this round. And there it is. So his -2 is gone. It's deck number 2. And then Starla. We're going to get rid of 2 of her -1s. We drew a lot of those this round, that's for sure. There's 1, there's 2. So 2 of them gone. Not a bad deal. She doesn't do a lot of attacking because we're always doing support stuff with her, but I think that's still okay. Actually, I'm realizing we never removed anything from Andrew's deck. So we just... Yeah, we've done nothing but add positive stuff to his deck. We never removed anything yet. In fact, he does not have the ability to remove anything other than those 2 negative. He could have removed 2 zeros. That was it. Interesting. Okay. Obviously, I'm way over on time. I'm at 2 hours. That's the end of the mission. We're going to have to do space exploration after this, which will take us to yet another mission. And I have to always pay attention. There's the possibility there's events that get drawn. I always miss those. There are little exclamation points in the corner of the cards. We have not hit any of those yet, so we're good. But we'll do some space exploration. There's a lot of space battles in Act 1. We, in fact, have done all the planets. There's only one more planet to do, and it might even be an Act 2 planet. There's this volcanic planet where all the tectonics are basically dissolving into the... so some kind of like research base is melting. That's the basic gist of it. So you have like a very strict time limit. It's in and out. It's actually a bit stressful. It's a tiny planet. There's not a lot to explore. That's the only other planet I think that I've ever that's left, and that might even be Act 2, because we had a couple big ones here that we did early. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is one more. But anyways, tons and tons of space battles. That's all I have to say. Okay, and last update. I have Fantasy Flight Games Descent Legends of the Dark. Descent, the second edition Descent, Journeys in the Dark, is to me still the best dungeon romp board game there is. I've played a bunch of them, and you saw me play the Dungeon Universalis. There's things in Dungeon Universalis that blows FFG away in terms of cumbersome rules and easy to play and all that stuff. Descent is still my favorite game. I like the Terranoth universe. I know a lot of you guys out there, especially on the forums, don't like Terranoth Universe, it's a little stale for you, that's fine. It doesn't bother me one bit. I'm very excited to play that game. I don't necessarily need to record it. I would like to, but the problem is I'm in the middle of this for recording. And so I'm actually gonna have to play that on another table or put my lid on this one. But that's not it. I got Europa Universalis coming, the board game, and I absolutely want to cover that game. I also have just arrived also today is V Sabotage, so formerly known as V Commandos. So that is also a brand new game, just arrived today, and boy, when it rains, it pours. I probably went for 6 months without getting anything new, and now all of a sudden they're all coming in. And now, granted, the Finn one was just a sort of an impulse purchase, but the other ones are Kickstarters, you know. So I've been waiting for a year, 2 years, you know, for these to come, and it's just really funny how they're all arriving all at once. I'll let you guys weigh in the comments. I know one person in particular was like, "I would love to see you play this all the way to the end." And the thing is I would too, because I don't even I've made it to Act 2 with my son, and I don't know the story beyond that point. And so I want to see how this game plays and ends. It's just that it's a long, long game. I mean, this is going to take months to finish. So I'm trying to figure out, like, I have it in the, if you're looking at my table, this is the bathtub part of my table, so over top, and then, you know, play other games on top of this. So I may end up doing exactly that, and then Adkarios just comes out whenever I have time. So anyways, I by no means want to quit playing this. I am, like I told you, I love this game. I don't want to say it's game of the year, but it's definitely one of my most enjoyable games this year. It's up there. It has flaws, but I really enjoy it, and it's because I always enjoyed Gloomhaven too. And basically, you know, no offense to the designer, he basically copied Gloomhaven and just put it in space. But I still think he put a nice enough twists on it. His narrative adventure part is a little hokey, but it's also good enough. Anyways, I can talk on and on. You guys know I like this game. So by no means do I want to quit it. I just, I got other stuff, and I only have so much time. So anyways, I'm trying to figure out what to do with all that. As always, thanks for watching. Stay awesome.